Hello, good evening and welcome to Upfront. This evening, the special prosecutor has dragged Boko Central Member of Parliament Mahama Ayaraiga to court. We'll be telling more about that particular case and get his reaction to that particular issue right away. And understand the Member of Parliament is on the line. But before I talk to him, let me tell you why he's dragged him to court. First and foremost, he's dragged him to court for fraudulent evasion of custom duties and taxes contrary to Section 1212 of F of the Customs Act. He's also dragged him to court for dealing in foreign exchange without license contrary to Section 31 and 29(1) of the Foreign Exchange Act. One more thing you should know about why Mr. Ayaraiga is being dragged to court is for using public office for private benefit, contrary to Section 179 CA of the Criminal Offences Act. And the first one is the fraudulent evasion of customs and duties I just mentioned to you. Luckily, the Member of Parliament is on the phone lines and he joins us now. You're welcome, sir, to our front.
Hi, good evening.
I hope you are doing well this evening.
I'm good.
Obviously, not so much of good news for you, but the first...
Oh, not really. I mean, in this life and in this our profession, you come along, you come across challenges. So it's just the usual challenges that we face, that's all.
Now, he is of the opinion that you fraudulently evaded specifically custom duties and taxes, which is contrary to law in this country. He's of the opinion that as a member of parliament, when you were asked to designate somebody else or an institution to purchase the car for you, you chose on your own to do it by yourself, contrary to established procedures.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the tax issues, I can assure you that every tax on the vehicles was paid. Every tax on the vehicles was paid. The first instance was when the vehicles came and they were enjoying duty exemption. We wrote to finance, Parliament wrote to finance for exemption. Finance granted exemption. They said that the value of the vehicle exceeded the allowable exemption. And the assessed excess was 36,000 Ghana cedis. And then the agent who cleared the vehicle took the letter from finance to GRA customs. And I think customs were then doing their conversion to paperless system or something of that sort. So they told him that there was a mistake by Ministry of Finance, and that instead of the 36,000 assessed by Minister of Finance, the actual amount was 6,000. So he paid 6,000 and brought me back my balance. I had given him 36,000 to go and pay. So, this matter came up, and then the Office of Special Prosecutor, acting through Yoko, invited me. I said, well, I didn't clear the vehicle myself. The letter came from finance. It went to GRA. They said that the assessment was wrong, and they asked for 6,000 instead of 36,000. Good news, we paid 6,000 and then took our 30,000 back. If you have a problem, go and sort it out with the GRA. If they call me and say they made a mistake, I should come back with the 30,000. They should write to me and communicate, to that effect, so that it's on record. So those are the facts for which I am being charged with fraudulent evasion of customs duty. I mean, this is something that could easily be ascertained at steps. So I'm wondering what kind of work they did, because when they invited me, I told them that, well, this is what happened, so go and find out from SEF. So they must have invited SEF. So I'm surprised that I'm the one they are charging. No SEF person is with me to to answer for anything. Meanwhile, I never walked to SEF. It was an agent who went. You know that you can't clear a vehicle yourself. That's an agent who cleared for you. Mm-hmm. So those are the facts. So we can imagine that based on these facts, I'm being charged with evasion of customs duty. But, we'll see how it goes.
But the agent you're talking about represented your interest, specifically worked for you.
You know the law is saying that you clear vehicles through agents.
Yes.
So if you even think that I colluded with the agent, you should have charged me with the agent. But the truth of the matter is that I told them that, look, I never even dealt with the agent directly. So go and then find out from the agent what happened. And the agent was invited. The agent explained everything. They went to customs. The customs explained everything to them. And yet they persisted in charging me with the offense. so those are the facts.
Now, you're also being charged on count 2 with using your public office as member of parliament for private benefit, which is contrary to Article Section 179, of course, of the Criminal Other Offences Act. Indeed, Mr. Amidu's office is of the opinion that you did abuse your office as a public officer for your private benefit by selling 3 Toyota V8 Land Cruisers with registration numbers dictated there, meant to be used for your official duties as a member of parliament, to one Kendrick Akwesima, who is charged with you in this case of Atlas Rent-A-Car at a price of $40,000. Of course, the details suggest that he has not paid all of the $40,000 to you.
I mean, you know, when you charge somebody in court, as a lawyer, ordinarily, I will not be responding to you on radio because the facts of the case are usually, you know, such that in court, you go through different processes to prove facts. But let me just assure you that I am compelled to speak because I'm also a politician. So it's not just an ordinary person who, let's say, you know, somebody's bringing a charge, but there are reputational issues, so I feel compelled to respond and put the facts out there so that the public will also make a judgment as to, you know, what the situation really is. I mean, this is a loan of $80,000 that's given to members of parliament, $80,000 given to members of parliament. And you take the loan, you buy a vehicle which you are supposed to use for your official functions, but then you also use it for your private functions and all sort of things because it's a loan. And you are paying from your salary. As we speak, every month there are deductions from my salary for this $80,000 loan that was given to me to buy the vehicle. Then when you go to take the loan, they say you should do an undertaking that you will choose, you will nominate a company to buy the vehicle for you. It's just an undertaking that you give to your employer. So we all do the undertakings. But then I went and said, look, even though I've done undertaking that you will buy for me, I want to go and buy the thing myself. So the company gives me my money. I go and buy 3. I add money actually, and go and buy 3 vehicles. And I brought it and reported to Parliament that this is what I have bought with my loan. I added money. So apply for my duty exemption for me. So they applied for the duty exemption for me. Then, you know, something happened for which reason I decided, look, let me just sell the skills back and go and buy 1 brand new Land Cruiser. And then somebody offers to buy them. And then he offers to pay at a certain date, makes a deposit. Then somebody goes to report to the Office of Special Prosecutor that, you know, I had sold the vehicles, blah, 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 and all sort of things. They come investigating. So I thought, okay, what is the issue? The issue is the duty before you pay. So I wrote to Customs, asking Customs for an assessment of the duty. And Customs assessed the duty on all the 3 vehicles. I paid to Customs. Customs collected their money. But for 10 months now, the vehicle has been seized and they are lying at the Office of Yoko under the instruction of the Office of Special Prosecutor. Yes, these are the simple facts of the case.
I see.
Now, the issue about payment of use of foreign
currency.
Foreign currency and then aiding people to transfer foreign currency out of the jurisdiction. Office of Special Prosecutor, through Yoko, invited me for interrogation. I went there, and they said, oh, you didn't go to Dubai. How did you, pay for the vehicle? I said, oh, the owner of the supplier has his partner in Ghana. So he said I should hand his money to his partner and gave me the contact of the partner. I called the partner. He came. I confirmed from his colleague in Dubai that he indeed was the partner. I handed over the equivalent of the price of the vehicle to the partner. The partner went. Now you want to charge me with aiding somebody to transfer money out of the jurisdiction. First and foremost, how do you know that the man transferred the money out of the jurisdiction? That's his business partner. How do you know what businesses they are doing in Ghana? And how do I know what businesses they are doing in Ghana and how they could have used their money? So I mean, how would you charge me with aiding them to transfer money when you haven't even shown that they transferred money? Those are the issues that the charges relate to. But as I said, I feel compelled to explain to the public because I'm also, a member of parliament and a public figure. But these are basically the facts of the case. These are the kind of issues that the Office of Special Prosecutor is all over me about.
You suspect persecution?
I don't want to say that. I just don't want to go into that. But these are the facts. So make up your mind. There's another case that he is pursuing me over, which is an ambulance that was purchased for Boku Municipal Assembly. I mean, somebody imported an ambulance in the name of Boku Municipal Assembly, and then the assembly wrote to finance minister for exemption to clear the ambulance without paying because it was going to come to the assembly. Then finance minister granting the exemption. The ambulance was cleared and brought to Boku. Then I wrote to the assembly saying that they should use my common fund, 100,000 Ghana cedis, to procure an ambulance. So they used my common fund, 100,000, and procured an ambulance, which is the same ambulance that was brought in the name of the municipal assembly. And the customs value, the customs declaration form says that the value of the ambulance, as determined by customs, is 92,000 Ghana cedis. And there are other port charges involved. And the assembly purchased the ambulance for 100,000. And immediately the ambulance was handed over to the assembly. The also Special Prosecutor ordered the arrest of the ambulance. And one of the issues was that it had been written on the ambulance that donated by Honorable Mahama Ayaraiga to the people of Boku. And that why did I cause the writing to be put on it that donated by Mahama Ayaraiga to the people of Boku, since the money was purchased from public funds. And also, I didn't even know that they had written anything on it, which is true. I mean, if you go to Boku, you can ask everybody in Boku. I've been a member of parliament. This is my third time as a member of parliament. I have drilled boreholes. I have helped to build schools. I have helped to provide rural education. Ask anybody in Boku Central whether they have ever seen me write even on one single borehole, one single electricity pole, one single school, anything, whether they have ever seen me write my name on it. They will tell you I've never written my name on anything. Never. It is not my practice. So this person who just went and wrote on it without even my knowledge. And just because of that writing that, donated by Mahama Ayaraiga, the ambulance was seized upon donation, handed over to the Municipal Director of Health, and it was driven and parked at the Upper East Regional Minister's residence. It has been parked there for 10 months simply because of that writing. And I said, look, if the writing is your issue, peel off the writing and let the ambulance serve the people, because government hasn't supplied ambulances yet. People are dying because they cannot be evacuated to medical facilities on time. And over this matter, we are keeping an ambulance. I said, look, even if you want to send me to court, you can snap the pictures of the ambulance and then, when you go to court, exhibit the pictures, but let the ambulance be serving the people. So those are the facts. Massa, it's not something that, I've been public officer for so many years. I've been running my common fund for ages. Ask them, they will tell you, I don't touch my common fund. So those are the facts. There's nothing to it, my brother.
Now, you remember that earlier the special prosecutor come out to issue a statement suggesting that your very self or others were trying to get him to drop his investigation of your good self. He proceeded to say it was never going to happen. Now, he proceeded to make other comments which suggested that you are one person he's bent on pursuing. That's why I asked the question about whether you feel this is persecution.
Like I said, I don't want to go along that road of labeling his conduct as persecution. But I've just given you the facts and what the issues are, and it's for you to make up your judgment whether you think that these are grave matters that should be pursued in the way that it is being pursued. But I just thought that I should provide some explanation. That's
okay. I get your point. Have you received the suit yet?
Oh, it's not a suit. It's a criminal prosecution. So I have not been invited to court yet. But he's written to me, and in that letter, he mentioned the fact that he had gone to court, and he may soon carry out prosecution. But I have not. I just noticed that somehow you have managed to get copies of the court documents. So I'm wondering how you got copies of the court documents to be doing your stories. But once you have gotten copies of the court document, you have published it, I also feel I must respond on air on the facts and let Ghanaians know exactly what the facts are.
You are sure that by the end of it...
Ordinarily, as a lawyer, I believe that
okay,
when there's a case like this in court, you shouldn't be on radio or on television discussing. But then I'm also a member of parliament, and my constituents need to hear my side of the story.
I get your point. From what you're telling me, you are absolutely convinced that you would actually end up in this case being the victor. You are not going to be held in custody, or whichever punitive measures ought to be taken would apply to you.
Oh, let him go to court. But he's gone to court. So when he gets to court, then in criminal matters, he has a duty to prove beyond reasonable doubt what he's alleging. And so we'll leave it at that.
Maybe finally, before you go, have you already got a reaction from the people in your constituency on the matter?
Well, they've been asking a lot since, because it's not the first time that the story has been put out there. The first time it was Martin Amidi himself who put out a story that I have sent people to come and beg him and all those things, which I kept quiet about. The second time was when he went to court asking for my phone call records and etc. So all this while, my constituents have been asking. They've been asking, just that I have, decided not to respond to their concerns. But at this stage, given that he's filed this in court and you have copies, how you got it, I don't know. But you have copies and we are discussing on radio. I believe that my constituents also are entitled to hear my side of the story.
I'm grateful for your time on the network today. I appreciate your time. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Bako Central.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mahama Ayaraiga is the Member of Parliament for Bako Central. He is the one who's been dragged to court, and for the avoidance of doubt, there are 4 charges. He, not alone, with one other gentleman, Kendrick. Now, specifically, the man who's dragged them to court as the Office of the Special Prosecutor is the opinion that the Member of Parliament has done some wrong. He's evaded not only what they call tax connected to customs and duties related to that, he is also of the opinion that he's dealt in foreign exchange contrary to sections in the foreign exchange laws of this country. He is also of the opinion that the Member of Parliament has engaged in the abuse of his office as a Member of Parliament in connection with the purchase of these cars. The Member of Parliament also explains to us that, well, it's not really the case in all of the instances that has been put out there. He wonders why the person who represented him being the agent before these custom officers to determine the cost involved hasn't been charged also. And he's been telling us that he's hopeful to have his day in court, and hopefully the burden will be on the prosecution, in this case the Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu's office, to prove whether or not he's done some wrong. We'll take a break. After the break, we'll continue our conversation here on Our Front.